Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
Okay, so what is becoming a running occurrence on this show, I had to write this during the last game that I picked. So, in other words, when we get to the Atlanta-Buffalo game, it's going to be a little bit different. At the time, I did not know if I was going to be going 5-1 or 4-2. Obviously, I wound up going 4-2. And you know what? At some point, I really should calculate my record for these things, but I just don't have the time. My only loss on the college side was obviously I got the Red River rivalry wrong as Texas beat Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer did play, and he started off pretty well, but it soon quickly became apparent that he could not throw the ball downfield and probably should not have been playing. His hand was just too banged up. I mean, in the second half, he really couldn't do anything. Texas D really stepped up, and again, Oklahoma just couldn't move the ball down the field. Now, granted, Texas wasn't exactly moving the ball that much better, but they got a few breaks here and there, got a quick lead, ran that punt back return for a touchdown, and that pretty much sealed it right then and there. So, yeah, the defense got overworked with Oklahoma. They gave up all the points in the second half, so, yeah, a bit of a misfire there on the Sooners' end. In the grand scheme of things, obviously the big news this week was that Penn State lost their third in a row, this time to Northwestern, and that got James Franklin fired. That was the straw that finally broke the camel's back. I mean, Franklin was always kind of unique. He never could quite get over the Ohio State-Michigan hump. Yeah, he beat Ohio State that one year, and, I guess he beat Michigan when they had a down year, but other than that, it never seemed to really go his way. And yeah, this is going to make the picks in a couple of weeks get kind of awkward. Franklin was, like I said, James Franklin overall was a good coach. If you look at his record at Vanderbilt, he is the type of person that could turn a program around, but again, he just kind of lacked that quality to really come through in the big games. And, up there in Happy Valley, they really kind of expect that sort of thing to come through from time to time, and it never really did. I could forgive him the loss to Oregon, that was in double overtime, but then to follow that up with a horrible loss to UCLA, who hadn't won a game all season, and Northwestern, who also just wasn't very good. That doesn't look good. You can't have that kind of thing in your program. Not to mention, your starting quarterback is now out for the season, so yeah, it's just getting even worse after that. Also, Oregon State fired their coach. That is all. Meanwhile, at the other end of the Emerald State, the Ducks lost at home to Indiana, who now look like legit contenders. Alabama managed to topple undefeated Missouri. South Florida beat North Texas. So now they kind of moved up into basically second place for the Group of 5 college football playoff bid. And of course, Bill Belichick is still coaching North Carolina. Unless he isn't. Who really knows at this point? There's 40 different reports out there, each contradicting each other. And of course, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turned on Seth Rollins and then bullied Paul Heyman into joining them. That's probably going to be the last wrestling talk I get a chance to talk about for a while. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If ever. I'm trying not to be sad. Moving on to the pros, the Rams had a great second half to beat the Ravens. This was all keyed up in the late first half when the Rams managed to stop Baltimore on a 4th and goal. The Kansas City Chiefs stumped the Detroit Lions. Not really much to say there. There was a couple of wacky penalties in that. After the game, Brian Branch got into a fight with Juju Smith-Schuster, and now Branch is suspended for, I believe, at least a game. And, of course, the Falcons managed to beat Buffalo, continuing to confound me as to whether or not I think they're good. Right now, I would probably put that in the category of yes. Again, yeah, they had that really bad loss to the Panthers, but other than that, they've been playing really well, so yeah, I think I'll put them in the good category, at least for now. League-wide, the Broncos and Chargers are now tied for the lead in the AFC West. The Chargers have the tiebreaker advantage there. The Packers had a hard-fought victory over the Bengals. The Giants upset the Eagles on Thursday night. And the 49ers lost Fred Warner for the season in their loss to Tampa Bay. And of course, last but not least, the Titans fired Brian Callahan. That is all. The games we're going to be covering this week include Louisville versus Miami of Florida, USC versus Notre Dame, and Old Dominion versus James Madison. Then on the NFL side, we have Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati, Philadelphia versus Minnesota, and Houston versus Seattle. And with that, that means we've actually completed all 32 NFL teams, so at least achieved that goal again. Anyway, we'll start that right after the break.
I've been working out for quite a few years now. I found it's easier to stay in shape when I do a lot of different things. That way I never get bored. So I never quit.
For the less filling beer that tastes great, Miller Lite.
Your participating Carvel ice cream dealer brings back Dumpy the Pumpkin. You remember him? He's cute. Now he's got a friend, Nutty the Ghost. Now, would you like to send Nutty the Ghost to a friend somewhere in the Northeast or in Florida? Please phone this toll-free number, and one of our Carvel stores will deliver it. And now, here's another advertising expert who gets her 2 cents in.
Our ice cream's better than our commercials.
Our first matchup sees the Louisville Cardinals taking on the Miami Hurricanes. Since we last visited the Cardinals, they lost a close game to the University of Virginia, where Louisville tried to mount a comeback, but it ultimately came up short. The Cardinals are kind of abandoning their running game and relying more and more on Miller Morris's passing abilities to try to get them through. That being said, I think their ultimate flaw is their defense. It's giving up way too many points, as both the games against Pitt and UVA were high-scoring affairs. Now, the Hurricanes have been firing on all cylinders so far this season. Carson Beck, I would say, is probably the leading Heisman candidate right now, and their defense is holding all of the opponents in check. The only real drawback, I would say, is that we were kind of in this position with Miami last year. They looked like a surefire, can't-miss college football playoff team, and then they lost 2 of their last 3 games, missed out on the ACC championship, and by extension the college football playoffs. Could we basically be due for another upset? Maybe not right now. Look, I love a good upset. I do think it would be cool if Louisville won, but yeah, right now, again, I think Miami has learned their lesson from the past couple of years in taking opponents lightly. I don't think they're going to do it this time. I like the Hurricanes to win this one, and win it rather handily, by at least 14 points. So yeah, I'm picking Miami to win this one.
You are what you eat. What's true for man is true for machines. Starting the day right can make a difference. Get Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Its detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Get a free Jets or Giants glass with every fill-up of 8 gallons or more of Mobile Super Unleaded Plus.
Ever hear of a gift certificate that turns into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what is that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1. And can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody.
Want to play ball with the pros? Then tackle the Fox Kids NFL Game Day 2002 sweepstakes. Win and you'll get your own PlayStation game console and NFL Game Day 2002 video game. Then we'll send you to the NFL Pro Bowl in Hawaii to try your game day moves against a real NFL player. 1,000 others win an NFL Game Day 2002 video game for PlayStation. To enter, send us your name and address by October 5th to Fox Kids NFL Game Day 2002, P.O. Box 4030, Beverly Hills 90213. Next Saturday on an all-new Metabots, some screws are on the loose. Now Icky and Metabee need to play nice to build a lean, mean fighting machine. But can these new friends be trusted? Metabots. It's all new next Saturday morning at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central and Pacific, only on Fox Kids.
Our second matchup is the time-honored rivalry between USC and Notre Dame, the battle for the jeweled shillelagh. And the fact that this is a matchup over a trophy, I think, is lost on most of America. Anyway, we need to treasure this beloved rivalry while we can, because it may in fact be going away because of all this conference realignment and schedule shifting and everything of that nature. Lincoln Riley has said there's a chance it could actually be dropped. Who knows? Hopefully it won't. I'm trying not to be sad. Anyway, the Irish are attempting to rebound from 0-2 to start the beginning of the season. They lost two really close games to Miami and Texas A&M. Basically, the Irish need to win out and have Miami and Texas A&M stay high enough in the college football playoff rankings to get in. Overall, Notre Dame plays good football, but they've just been kind of done in by the little things. Against Texas A&M late in the game, they had a bad snap on. I can't remember if it was a field goal or a PAT. I think it was a PAT, but yeah, again, that's what kind of cost them because A&M was allowed to march down the field and score a touchdown afterwards. Still, the offense is led by the 1-2 running punch of Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price at running back, and quarterback C.J. Carr is really beginning to hit his stride. That being said, I think the big question is the defense. Again, they tend to give up a lot of points. Things get caught in shootouts. If such a thing happens here, can they hold on? Now, USC has actually been playing really well this year and had a good rebound with only one loss being to Illinois. They've just gotten over a big win with Michigan. Their offense is very high-powered, led by quarterback Jitten Maiava, running back Wayman Jordan and Eli Sanders, wide receivers Micaiah Lemon and Jacoby Lane. I think, again, the Trojans' biggest question is their defense. I've seen them get caught up in a few shootouts that maybe didn't need to happen. So, yeah, again, big questions there. But overall, like I said, the Trojans are playing much better, especially they've played in the last few years. Overall, I think USC is playing just slightly better football than Notre Dame right now. Again, the Irish just tend to make some very stupid mistakes that have cost them in these games, and USC really isn't making those kinds of mistakes. So overall, I think this is going to be a close game. It's going to be very hardly fought, but I think the Trojans are going to pull away in the second half of this one. I like USC here.
It don't take many pesos at Taco Bell. It wakes up your mouth, you know. It don't take many pesos at Taco Bell. So come on, amigo, let's go. Yeah.
Taco Bell's original tacos are just 49 cents. Fresh and delicious. Great tasting fast food shouldn't cost more than 49 cents.
Run, run, run for the border. Domino's, Domino's. Run, run, run for the border. Run, 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 run.
Guy just wants to be left alone in peace.
Aren't you going to take him in for questioning or anything?
Just leave him alone.
Norman, is that you?
Yes, Mother. It's me.
Psycho 3, rated R. Now at select theaters. Check newspapers.
You're searching for a monster who's hard to find. But here's a hint, he's one of a kind. Monster Mash.
I got him.
It's a wacky smash. Be the very first to find the fiend and then give him a whack. And start all over again.
I'll do the mash.
Monster Mash.
It's Monster Mash.
It's a wacky smash. Monster Mash. Wacky fun from Parker Brothers.
Our third matchup is the Old Dominion Monarchs taking on the James Madison Dukes, and a game that's actually kind of bigger than a lot of people realize. Up until last week and their loss to Marshall, the Monarchs were actually like the third-ranked highest Group of 5 college football playoff team, which meant they kind of had a legit shot going on there. And you have to think the 5-1 Dukes are pretty much right up there as well, although both were probably passed way big time by South Florida beating North Texas earlier. Anyway, there's also ramifications in the Sun Belt Conference as both teams are vying for winning the East Division. Yes, the Sun Belt is the only conference that still does the division thing at this point, and we could get into the inherent flaws there, but we'd be here for a while. Now, Old Dominion is led by the 1-2 punch at running back of Devon Roche and Troyquan Jones. And like I said, the offense can put up some really good numbers. However, the defense has really struggled when getting involved in high-scoring affairs, like their game against Marshall. On the other hand, you have the 5-1 James Madison Dukes, whose offense can be very unpredictable at times, with a lot of turnovers and kind of lacking in the scoring department. I mean, they only beat Georgia State 14-7. Their main offensive weapons are quarterback Matthew Sluka, running back George Pettaway, and wide receiver Landon Ellis. Here, though, the Dukes are really carried by their defense. That's kept them in a lot of games. It's kept the scoring from getting out of hand. And, when the offense can get things together and put points up, it's helped them maintain leads. So both teams really do have quite a bit to play for, like I said, in the standings of the Sun Belt East. And the Dukes also remember that Old Dominion spoiled their undefeated season a couple of years ago. So this is a very hard-fought rivalry. These are two schools that are very close to each other. And the Monarchs do have a strong offense, but very questionable defense. JMU has questionable offense, but a strong defense. But overall, I think a strong defense can outplay a questionable offense at times. So I think JMU will play just well enough to win this and take control of the Sun Belt East. So yeah, I'm picking James Madison to win this one.
This place was once a funeral parlor, wasn't it? What was that?
We're gonna get out of here. Get up, Judy. Yes, you can.
Night of the Demons.
Where you going? The party's just begun.
Rated R.
Oh, it's Friday.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
Call in the Alienators, a high-tech strike team defending the Earth with the most outrageous weapons. It's no more Mr. Nice Planet. Alienators Evolution continues. All new today at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central and Pacific on Fox Kids. Evolve this.
Moving on to the pros, we're starting things off with the Thursday night affair between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And by touching on Pittsburgh, we have now officially covered all 32 teams this season. The Steelers are off to a really good start, much like they have been in the last few years. However, given the current state of the AFC North, this might actually be a beneficial aspect to them. Aaron Rodgers has seemingly woken up a long-dormant passing game, and Jalen Warren is running the ball really well. If the Steelers do have some concerns, I think it's still kind of on defense, surprisingly enough. Their pass rush is really well, but I think they've been more susceptible to the running game this year. I've seen teams move the ball really well against them on the ground, so again, maybe there's a chance for Cincinnati. As for the Bengals, well, even though they lost to the Packers, Joe Flacco actually played pretty well, and again seemed to have woke up a dormant offense. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are definitely feeling a lot better given their receiving numbers against the Packers last week. And Chase Brown is running the ball really well. And you know what, again, I still think the Bengals defense is actually much improved over its state last year. So, again, they do have that going for them, and you know what? Remember, I don't think anyone had the Giants beating the Eagles last week, and what happened there? I don't think it's going to happen again, though. I mean, the Bengals are really banged up, and they're not very good, and the Steelers are still playing really well. So I am thinking the Steelers are going to win this one pretty handily, probably by a couple touchdowns. So, yeah, Pittsburgh wins.
We had so many cheesecakes. Even if Mom and I said that we were sick and tired of these cheesecakes, he would bring them home every single night. He came as close as he imagined with the pound cake. He really felt it couldn't be better. Coffee cake always had to have just the right amount of pecans. It was like Dad's trademark. I think he counted every pecan on those cakes. One day Dad told me why everything he baked had to be perfect. He was naming it after me.
They come out at night. They strike without warning. But now, it's your turn to get even.
Grab his arms! I got mine!
Electronic stretch screamers. They scream when you stretch them and come back for more. And when you squeeze their heads. Electronic stretch screamers. Scream when you stretch them. Each sold separately.
Maximum speed! Pass up! Motor! You need! Do you want to win? Get your motor in gear! Gear grinding! High-tech motor power! Real rubber racing slicks! Blazing photon light! Pull it back! Get the motor rip! Get your motor in gear! Maximum speed cars! Blaze with light at up to 600! Scale miles per hour! With or without track! Do you want to win? Get your motor in gear! Every car has a motor inside! Collect them all! For the ultimate race! Motorized maximum speed car! Come with ramp and belt plate! Each sold separately! Get your motor in gear!
Our next matchup is Philadelphia taking on Minnesota, and I don't really know what to make of this one. The Eagles are spinning their tires in recent weeks. They've lost 2 games straight. I mean, the offense was kind of struggling a little bit before that, and the defense was only playing pretty good. And then the Giants game happened, and they were kind of blown out the gates with that one. Offensively, Jalen Hurts is just trying to force the ball to A.J. Brown to make him happy, and Saquon Barkley just doesn't seem to be getting any more touches. I mean, he can still put up good numbers, so I don't know why they're not giving him the ball, too. Like I said, the defense has also become really hit and miss. Sometimes they give up a lot of points, and sometimes they look unstoppable. It's just a little too hard to predict them. Now, the Vikings are coming off a bye week that followed their back-to-back European contests, and it does look like J.J. McCarthy has returned to practice, but it's not known whether or not he'll start, and I don't know what about the health status of Carson Wentz right now. In fact, the Vikings in general are really banged up. They've had offensive line injuries, defensive injuries. I mean, the defense is playing well despite that. And for the most part, like Jordan Mason runs the ball really well. The problem is the Vikings keep abandoning the running game. But again, Wentz can play okay if he needs to, but again, if he's banged up again and can't play, you're down to your third-string quarterback if McCarthy can't step up. So again, I think there's just too many questions around the Vikings right now. I think the Eagles are motivated to get back to winning. I want to pick the Vikings more, but again, there's just too many questions. I think the Eagles are going to hold on and win this one. So yeah, I'm picking Philadelphia. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
It is the place where devoted pets are laid to rest.
What did we do tonight, Judd?
What we did, Lois, was a secret. But nothing buried there ever rests in peace. Come back to me, Gage. Paramount Pictures presents Stephen King's chilling bestseller, Pet Cemetery, rated R. Star.
My most perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, backbones, and toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's the face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
There's a vacancy at the Bates Motel.
Norman, is that you?
No, it's Spud McKenzie, and it could be you. Look for this display and enter Bud Light Psycho Sweepstakes to win a Bud Light party with Spud McKenzie at the Psycho Mansion. You could even get a mug like Spud's at participating retailers. Wow!
That Spud is so cool, it's scary.
Our final matchup is the late night Monday game between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. And the Texans have won 2 straight against 2 really bad teams. And yes, unfortunately, I have to count the Ravens as being really bad right now, so I'm not that impressed. CJ Stroud is playing better, but he still only has one wide receiver in Nico Collins, and the running game is very hit and miss. Overall, their running backs, I think Dario Ogunbowale is actually their best option right now. Also, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm trying my darndest with that. Again, the defense has played well, but again, that's against 2 bad teams. They've struggled at other points this year against good teams, and Seattle is not nearly as bad as Tennessee or Baltimore is right now. Now, the Seahawks themselves are kind of hard to grasp in many ways. I kind of put them in the same league as the Atlanta Falcons in the sense that they're a team that plays really well at times, but then kind of shoots themselves in the foot. They move the ball well, especially on the ground game with Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. The defense is playing pretty well for the most part. I mean, we just saw what they did against Jacksonville. But they just keep making these stupid mistakes that wind up costing them in the long run. Darnold is doing all right at quarterback right now, and Jack Smith-Njigba is having a breakout year at wide receiver. So they've got that going for them. They've got a strong defense, and again, right now, I'd say the Seahawks are a much more trustworthy team than the Texans are. So yeah, I'm going to give the Seahawks a pretty handled win here. It's going to be by double digits, so yeah, Seahawks by like 10 points or so. We'll wrap things up after the break here.
They are the children of the corn. They must obey he who walks among the rows. And they live in a world where adults are not allowed to live. Children of the corn. A new kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
We were telling ghost stories in the Fun Fruits jungle. The coffin opened, and the skeletons scared the alien! Skeleton! And that's how we discovered new Fun Fruits Spooky Fruit, with skulls, ghosts, and monsters. And Fun Fruits Space Shapes with aliens, astronauts, and spaceships. New fruit snacks from Sunkissed Fun Fruits.
Give me 5.
New Fun Fruits Space Shapes and Spooky Fruit.
There's still a town where a little boy can be a little boy.
Eat my shorts.
There's still a family that knows the meaning of love and respect.
I got some bad news.
Your mother's not pregnant, is she?
The town is called Springfield.
I want to be Little Miss Springfield so I can make our town a better place.
Clean up this stink hole.
And the family is called The Simpsons. Homespun comedy, the way it should be.
Weeknights at 6 and 7 p.m. on Fox 5.
King of the Hill, weeknights at 5:30 on Fox 5.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I like Miami over Louisville, USC over Notre Dame, and James Madison over Old Dominion. Then on the NFL side, I like Pittsburgh over Cincinnati, Philadelphia over Minnesota, and Seattle over Houston. Okay, so the next couple of videos are going to be football picks videos again. Next week's games are Missouri versus Vanderbilt, Colorado State versus Wyoming, and Southern Florida versus Ole Miss. Then on the NFL side, we have Buffalo versus Carolina, Tennessee versus Indianapolis, and Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. The Week 10 lineup, that's the 2 weeks games from now, we're going to be covering Missouri State versus Florida International, Arizona State versus Iowa State, and Penn State versus Ohio State. I know that's backwards. Technically, Florida International is visiting Missouri State there, but I wrote it down the wrong way. Then on the NFL side, we'll be taking on Atlanta versus New England, San Francisco versus the New York Giants, and Seattle versus Washington. Okay, so again, I'll try to see if I can get more videos up on the Snorpo channel soon. I just keep losing track of time. I've been pretty busy trying to get everything set up. Anyway, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytime for cat productions, or just click the link in the description. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be made aware of further videos.